Good afternoon, 6th grade. It is Tuesday, April 21st. We're going to be starting a new batch of lessons. These are not reviews, so these are going to be new concepts for us to cover. So please make sure you are reading along with me on your math packet and you are listening, and we are working through these together. This section we're going to be talking about for most of this week is going to be over temperature. How to measure temperature, how to convert from Fahrenheit to Celsius. In fact, you're going to be doing problems 1 through 6 all, so class practice 1 through 6, but of course I'll go over a few with you. But this is a pretty straightforward lesson. It's going to get a little bit trickier when we actually get to the formulas and how to use them. So we're going to read this first little fact sheet together. Fact 1, a thermometer is an instrument used to measure temperature, how cold or hot a substance is. The little dot, this little dot looking thing, you've seen it in math before, it kind of looks like that. That symbol is the symbol for temperature and also for degree. That is the degree symbol. Anytime you see a little rounded dot, that is the degree symbol. And it measures temperature. Celsius and Fahrenheit are two temperature scales. Fahrenheit is most often used in the United States, although Celsius, the metric scale, is usually used in the scientific field. For every 100 degrees Celsius increase, there is a 180 degree Fahrenheit increase. Therefore, 1 degree Celsius measures a greater change in temperature than 1 degree Fahrenheit. And learn these reference points on both scales. Freezing point of water in Fahrenheit is 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Celsius, it is 0 degrees Celsius. The boiling point of water in Fahrenheit is 212 degrees Fahrenheit. In Celsius, it's 100 degrees Celsius. The normal body temperature in Fahrenheit is 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. In Celsius, it's 37 degrees Celsius. The formula. To convert from the Celsius scale to the Fahrenheit scale, use the formula. Fahrenheit equals 9/5 times Celsius plus 32. Remember, a letter and a number side by side means to multiply. Order of operations tells us to multiply before adding. And we're going to cover more in depth the how to do these formulas in the next coming days. We won't have to use the formulas on this page. So let's look at our class practice. Number 1, A through F. Fill in the blank. Every one of those problems can be answered with that little fact sheet we just read. So go back through the little fact sheet and you will find the information there. Class practice 2. Round these degrees to the nearest whole degree. First one's been done for you. 37.2 degrees Fahrenheit was rounded to 37 degrees. Remember, to the nearest whole degree means to the nearest whole number. So let's do 12 let's do B. So we've got 12.9 degrees Celsius. Let's round it to the nearest whole degree. Remember, look at your number here. We're rounding to the whole number. Whole numbers are to the left of the decimal point. So 0.9, are we going to round it down to 12 or are we going to round up to 13? That's right. Our rounding rule states that if a number is greater than or equal to 5, which 9 is greater than 5, you round up. So it becomes, that's right, Lucy, 13 degrees Celsius. Because we're using Celsius for this one. Let's look at example E. So E says we've got 75 and 2/9 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, there are two ways that we can round this, or two ways that we can figure out how to round. We could go 2 divided by 9, and that would give us a decimal of some sort, or we can use some common sense. What's half of 9? Or close to half of 9? It would be about 4.5, and we know fractions have decimal equivalents. We know something like 1/5 is 0.2, 2/9 is like 0.23. So we know that's nowhere near 0.5. So would we round up or down? That's right. We leave it at 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Pretty straightforward. Is there any other of these that look tricky? That's how you do the ones with fractions. Like C, for instance, 29 and 3/5 would be 29.6. We already did 1/9. We know what half of 9 is, so you can use some judgment on 11 and 7/9. You know what a fifth is. And for those of you who don't, you can always look it up if you need to. Alright, let's look at the rest of these problems. Converting from Celsius to Fahrenheit using the formula. Okay, so we do have a few on the next page they want us to do. Okay, so let's work some of these out together. These are fun. Alright, so we'll do, I want to do at least 3 of them. So let's do A. So we've got 20 degrees Celsius equals how many degrees Fahrenheit? Remember our formula from Celsius to Fahrenheit. Fahrenheit equals 9/5, whatever Celsius is, plus 32. Alright, so what's our degrees Celsius? 20. So Fahrenheit equals 9/5 times, remember, anytime a number and a letter are close together like that, that means the same thing as a multiplication symbol. So I'm going to use the dot there. Remember, the dot also equals multiplication. So we've got 20, and since it's a whole number, I can put it over 1, plus 32. Remember, order of operations, parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. So what do we do first, the addition or multiplication? That's right. And to make things a little easier, remember, when you're doing anything to do with fractions, you can do the cancellation rule. So let's look here. Is there anything that 9 and 1 share? No. What about 20 and 5? Yeah, 5. They can both be divided by 5. So this becomes 1. 20 divided by 5 is 4. Alright, so what's 9 times 4? 36. 36 over 1 is the same thing as 36, because it's a whole number. Plus 32. So what's 36 plus 32? That's right. 68 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's how you do them. So that's A. Let's see here if I can do another one under here without having to erase anything. Alright, I think I have room to do. I'm gonna do C next. Alright, so C, 45 degrees Celsius equals what degrees Fahrenheit? Same formula, guys. Fahrenheit equals 9/5 times whatever Celsius is plus 32. Alright, what's our Celsius measurement this time? 45. So we've got F equals 9/5 times 45 over 1 plus 32. Can we use our cancellation rule? We sure can. Can't do it this way, but 5 can go into 45 and 5 can go into 5. So this becomes a 1. 5 goes into 45 9 times. What's 9 times 9, guys? That's right, Thomas. 81. So we've got 81, because you don't have to put the 1 underneath it, plus 32. And that is, I'll stack it so you guys can see it a little easier. 1 plus 32, 3, 8 plus 3 is 11. So we end up with 113 degrees Fahrenheit. Seems pretty warm considering usual temperatures. Alright, and I'll do one more as an example. I think you guys understand the gist of it. You just follow that formula. The part that you guys may have trouble with the most is, the 1 under the whole numbers, but you guys got it. Let's see, I did A and C. Let's do E. So we've got E. 70 degrees Celsius equals what degrees Fahrenheit? Remember, Fahrenheit equals 9/5 times whatever Celsius is plus 32. And our Celsius is 70, so we go 9/5 times 70 over 1 plus 32. So that's how you write it out. 9/5 times 70 over 1, because it's you don't have to put the 1, but it makes it easier to do because you're multiplying fractions with whole numbers. It just makes it easier to see it this way. Cancellation rule. 9 and 1 can't cancel out, but 5 and 70 sure as heck can. 5 becomes 1. How many times can 5 go into 70? You may have to do it separately, but it comes out to, see, 12 times 5 is 60, so 14. So this becomes 14. Oh, but we're still going to probably have to do some side multiplication here. So we've got 9 times 14. So 14 times 9 gets 6, carry your 3. 9 times 1 is 9, plus 3, 126. But don't forget you got to add plus 32 to that. So for you guys, make it simpler, I'll do that vertical multiplication. 32. So it's 8, 5, 158 degrees Fahrenheit. Woo! We're burning up a little bit if it's that hot outside. Probably won't be outside at all on that. But that's how you do it. Pretty straightforward. And once again, if you have any questions about this stuff, please get in contact with me. I'd love to help you guys out on Remind. I'd love to hear how y'all are doing. So let's see what else we got. Okay, 4, solve for x. I showed you some examples of that yesterday, and these aren't even multi-step problems. We've gone over enough of these solve for x's. You know how to do them. Review 5a is, we got some of that adding, subtracting, the compound formulas, you got that. Remember, 25 and 1/2%, the step is you convert the, I'll at least show you the part. Okay, so 25.5%, guys remember, is the same thing as 0.255. Remember, that's the same equivalent, and then plug it in, multiply, you know how to do those. Okay, and remember, anytime you see a fraction in parentheses with a square, that's the same thing as saying 5/7 times 5/7. And then you guys have your formulas for circumference, perimeter, and area on 6. You guys know how to do shapes. Pretty confident on that. So once again, though, make sure you do 1 through 6 all. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Remember, if you have any questions, please get with me on Remind.